Insulin. This little object is the story of how it saved my life. I was a junior in high school when my mother passed away. By my senior year, I was helping my dad take care of my siblings, going to school, working part time, and I knew something wasn't right with my health. But the Evanston doctors were not telling me anything. They would test a little bit, tell me it was my diet, and send me on my way. But kids my age weren't shaking as bad as I was, and they didn't have the same issues I did. And I knew something wasn't right. So when he started dating a woman named Kim, I made the journey eventually up to Idaho to talk to their doctors up there because when my dad went to them, he was getting answers and he was getting help. So I started that process, and at first they thought I was a type 2 diabetic, but as more time went on, they eventually put me on long-acting insulin, which is the point in my life that it saved me because I was not doing all right at all. And by the time I graduated high school, I was doing long-acting and fast-acting insulin. I was giving myself insulin shots with a pen every time. And then a few years later, I got a insulin pump. I have done shots. I've done everything in between when it comes to my diabetes. And I have now had an insulin pump. I have a new one. And I now have also a continuing glucose monitor, which helps me monitor my sugars better. At that time in my life, I didn't know I could have kids. I was convinced I couldn't have kids. And I now have a almost 3-year-old little boy, very hyper, very active little boy. And I hope someday to have another one, hopefully one more, so that way my son can have a sibling. And I watch him very closely for diabetes because I am a little bit worried. But being a type 1 diabetic, I know what to look for, and I am grateful for that. A quote by President Gordon B. Hinckley I really like is, "Be believing, be happy, don't be discouraged, things will work out." I believe that everything happens for a reason, even if we don't understand it at that time. And that's basically been my entire life. And I believe that someday I'm going to be able to help somebody else with diabetes. I'm going to be able to help them understand diabetes. And with all the knowledge I have, it'll make a difference with even if it's just one person. With all of a start of just a little vial of insulin.